So if you've ever been interested in installing one of these propane quick connects on your tag trailer, stick around and I'll show you how we did ours. So it helps if you turn on the microphone. Anyhow, to paraphrase what I was trying to say here, we went out and purchased one of those propane fire pits, and so since our tag didn't have a disconnect in the back, to make it easier to connect it whenever we wanted to use it, we're going to go ahead and install one of those disconnects right behind the leveler in the back and show you how we did that. All right, thank goodness I have a boondock so I can get myself a camera and everything else underneath here. So anyhow, right now we're looking at the back frame rail, kind of underneath where right about here is where the refrigerator would be, on the back, in the galley of the camper. So looking at this, here is the propane line that comes from the front of the camper and over and up for the stove. This switch right here is the safety switch that will turn off the gas if the galley door is shut. And so right here we have a connection that I think will be a very easy connection to undo this, put a T in here, and then loop another line, another rubber line under and then along the other side of this frame rail. So looking at the back side of this frame rail, I think we can loop that hose around here and just run along the bottom of this frame rail, kind of underneath here, and then mount the quick disconnect right about here. And I think that should work fine. The hose will kind of be protected by this jack or by this leveler here, and I really don't see it being a problem having that hose come underneath this rail. So let's go ahead and go to the bench and assemble the hose, and then we can come back down to put the rest of the fittings on the backside. So the main part of this is just going to be connecting the quick disconnect to the hose and then connecting this elbow to the other side so that it can then connect to the T that we install on that side. One thing we need to make sure we do with all these fittings is wrap them in this tape that's made for propane fittings. All right, so we're back underneath the camper, obviously, and I'm going to go ahead and remove this switch from back here and loosen all this up so I can then put that T into this fitting here. All right, garage floor confessional take one. I just learned that compression fittings, these, like that top edge, do not need Teflon tape, and you should not put it on those. So I have gone back now, and the fittings on the hose that I did earlier, removed the Teflon tape from the compression fittings, and then made sure that the ones I'm working on now also do not have it. All right, so everything now is loosely connected. So now we should be able to go around and mount the quick connect over here so we can get an idea of where the hose is going to run. All right, so we're going to mount this quick disconnect right up here on this frame rail, and we're going to do so using these little hangers along with some self-tapping screws. So let's find a good spot to do this. The one thing to watch is you gotta look what's on the back side of this frame rail, because that gas line is running along through there, so you don't want to hit that. All right, so the first one's now loosely connected, so now we just need to drill probably 3 or 4 more holes to connect the rest of the hose, and we should be good to go. So I hope that lawnmower in the background is not too distracting. Anyway, I got the whole system leak tested. Everything looked good. Hooked it up to the fire pit, and as you can see, it's working great. The only other thing I did have to do is the hose that comes with the fire pit is a regulated hose. So I had to swap that out since the fuel going back to the back of the trailer is already regulated. Other than that, everything went really smooth. I'll go ahead and leave affiliate links below to everything that I had to purchase for this project, so please feel free to check that out. And I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.